Hi guys, and welcome to another Skyrim mod preview video. In this video I'm going to be covering a new mod called Imaginator MCMenu. And it pretty much does exactly that. It adds an MCM menu system to the Imaginator mod. For those of you that don't know what Imaginator is a mod that lets you change the lighting, the visuals. It summons a helper. By the way, if you have installed this mod and the helper appears and then disappears, save the game immediately. Save it and then reload it. The save you've just made, and he will appear. That's a small bug, but it may get fixed one day, but for some reason it's a while away. MG and I have been very busy, I'm afraid. So, Imaginator, you can change basically all the lighting settings. So for example, if we go to contrast, you can change brightness. Let's make it a little brighter. I'm going to increase the brightness by 10. As you see, brightness increased. I can decrease it and so on, or reset. You can do the same for contrast and even things like saturation. If you like the deep fantasy look of very vibrant colors, you can just crank the saturation right up. There you go. You can see the greens are now exceptionally green. The sunsets become very sort of red and purple. Let me reset that. And so that's what this mod does. But it's not just for simple things like contrast, light, and saturation. It is also for some more, more impressive things. You can change the tint of the game, make it redder, bluer, greener, and so on. But it's when you start getting to the cinemagic settings where you can sort of add bloom. See the bloom appearing over the mountains? Let's keep cranking the bloom up. As you can see here, a lot more bloom. You can increase the sky's brightness. As you see there, let's do that again. See the sky getting brighter, and so on. So you can really give your game a sort of a far more sort of surreal look with a lot of bloom, increased lighting. I'm going to reset all of those settings back to normal. And you can also choose some presets. Now the presets are not just changes to things like the light, the color, the brightness. They are basically, MGE has come up with some filters, some tweaks here and there, and they change things either subtly or quite strongly. If you, let's have a look, where was the one I wanted? Magic Hour, for example. There you go. You'll see a slight increase in saturation, and it gives everything a slightly softer look. And so on. And every time I click this, it increases it by 1. And you can stack the presets. I'm going to remove them all now. So, that's how you do it. But as you can see, this menu is not exactly brilliant. It's a dialogue menu, so it's unpleasant. And the MCM menu attempts to fix that. Now, if you have been using the helper to change the settings and you now want to change the settings via the MCM menu, I do recommend you reset all the values previously set before. Now, if I go to mod configuration, Imaginator, here you can see these are the presets. Let's choose Cool Midnight and crank that up to say 0.2. And see what effect that has. Or as you can see, the blues have become a lot deeper. And so on. I mean, this is essentially, it's the same as the dialogue menu, except it's got a user-friendly MCM menu instead. I'll go along to Cinemagic, and no, I won't. I will go to, oh, here we go. Saturation. I'm going to decrease the saturation a little bit. Decrease the contrast. And increase the brightness a fraction. I have no idea what this is going to look like. But you can see, I can play around with it, go back in game, and there you go. A sort of, slightly old television look to it. Old movie look. And that is really all there is to it. So, Basically, a nice user-friendly menu for Imaginator. Now, there is a downside to it, and that is when you're in MCM, when you go along to the MCM menu, obviously any changes that you make, you can't see until you leave. So, you know, if I crank up the warm northern lights to 0.4, which is, by the way, overkill. If you set any of these above about 0.3, 0.4, the effect is, as you can see, very powerful indeed. So, perhaps you like to play that way. It's a little over the top for me, but hey, each to his own. And that's the whole idea of Imaginator. But as you could see, I couldn't see the effect until I exited the menu, whereas with the helper dialog, you see it as it goes along. So that is one disadvantage. What I really would like to create for Imaginator is a heads-up display menu system that is easy to use and allows you to change things real time. Very similar to the director's chair in Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. But that is quite some time away, I'm afraid. So until then, MCM system seems to be the other best option, so give it a try. Anyway guys, that's it for this video. I hope it helped, and I hope you enjoy the mods.